Okay, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to as welcome back. You're with Rashad Richey. It is indisputable. I have on the phone Attorney Harry Daniels. Okay, I have Attorney Harry Daniels on the phone. He was just at the press conference. He's one of the attorneys, lead attorneys for the Brown family. The attorneys and the family were able to review the video. You just heard what one of the counsel said. She called it an execution, and they were only able to see 20 seconds of the video. So for those of you who are in the live chat, I want to get feedback quickly. Are you able to hear Harry Daniels? Harry, are you there?
Yes,
Rashad. Okay. For those of you who are in the chat, could you all hear Harry Daniels? Because I'm doing something. I haven't asked the producers. Okay, so they can't hear you. Harry, we just watched the video. You all had some kind of snafu earlier where the sheriff basically said he had to redact the video. They redacted the video so much, according to the report now that's coming out, they only let you see 20 seconds of a shooting that lasted much longer than that. Give us what you all saw in this video and what is going on right now with the Brown family and that local community.
We saw execution, a murder. Mr. Brown was complying. They was told to put his hands up. He put his hands on the steering wheel. They were shooting him before they told him to put his hands up. He placed his hand on the steering wheel, and they were still shooting. Mr. Brown was afraid. He was scared. He was scared, and he tried to get away from them. They was trying to kill him. He wasn't fleeing. He was trying to save his own life. And they continued to shoot into the car, and they killed him. Simple as that. With high assault rifles.
You know, I think many of us are in shock right now. We haven't even seen the video, but just hearing the description and seeing the evidence of what looks to be a cover-up. The sheriff hiding behind the law. The sheriff then deciding to be even more egregious by redacting the video and only allowing 20 seconds. Can you tell us something about the North Carolina law that allows the sheriff to do this? And is the sheriff on proper legal footing by only allowing 20 seconds of the video to be shown to the family and attorneys?
They've completely operated in contravention of North Carolina law. The law doesn't allow that. In fact, the family gets to see the unredacted version of the video, the full entire video. They unilaterally chose to pick the pertinent parts they believe was pertinent. So it was in contravention of the law. The statute is very clear. The family is shown the body camera footage. They chose 20 seconds. That 20 seconds shows a murder. So the execution. They chose 20 seconds. The video started and they was already shooting Mr. Brown with his hands on the steering wheel. It was execution.
Before we heard,
it's a reason why they don't want America to see it, because America's going to see an execution of an unarmed black man.
Before we looked at this press conference, I said on the show that it is likely that they're going to redact what was said before the killing and what was said after the killing. And that's exactly what they did. Am I right?
Correct.
Does it seem it's based on the video that at least some of these officers made up in their mind that they were going to kill Mr. Brown?
Of course. It was already, he was complying with Rashad. He had his hand on the steering wheel. They was trying to kill him. They want to kill him. And they in fact did kill him. It is a tragedy. It is horrific.
Harry Daniels, your lead counsel, one of the lead counsel with this horrific tragedy of another unarmed black man being killed in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, Mr. Andrew Brown Jr. How's the Brown family right now?
Best to be expected. I guess they're not doing well, but they're holding on and they're holding together.
What can you tell us about the deputies right now? We're hearing that some of them have been placed on leave. Another person retired. One has resigned or about to resign. What's the clarity on that?
10 officers have been either retired, resigned, and 7 others on administrative leave. So a total of 10 officers that just no longer as an active duty right now after this incident.
The attorney that spoke at the press conference said it was unclear how many bullets were fired. Okay, there were so many bullets. Do you have an idea, an estimate of how many bullets were fired?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The attorney that spoke at the press conference said it was hard to tell how many bullets were fired because there were so many. Do you have an idea of how many bullets you heard being fired into Mr. Brown?
When I at this time, an independent autopsy had been performed, we do know he was shot in the back of the head, at the back, in the arms. It was all from the rear. He was shot in the back. So either way, it was all off the killer. He was shot in the back, trying to get away.
There's been a narrative that was pushed mainly by conservatives saying that Mr. Brown died because he ran into a tree. Say something about that narrative.
I assure you, that was bullshit. Mr. Brown died because he ran a tree. I've seen the picture. Mr. Brown died of bullets projectiles going in his body.
At what point under the North Carolina law can the general public receive access to this camera footage?
North Carolina law, the body camera footage is not public record in North Carolina. It has to be released from a judge, Superior Court judge. Petition have been filed in order to do so in this matter. And this is a case where the sheriff allowed the family to see the video. Although the family is supposed to see the unredacted version, they utilize the law where the judge will make the decision of what portions can be released and release the portion they would show to the public, to the family, even though the family is supposed to see the full, complete version and all body cams. Let me be very clear. There was multiple body cams. We only saw one body cam for one officer who was the farthest away from the scene.
So the one body camera that you did see was of a cop that was the farthest away from the actual incident, from the murder.
That's correct.
Now, what law protects this sheriff in doing something like that if the family is able to see whatever camera footage or body camera footage associated with the death of a loved one?
The sheriff had wanted to show the body camera footage. He is being controlled by the county attorney. The issues might cause the county attorney and try to interpret the law. He doesn't know the law. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's in over his head.
You're there now with Attorneyman Benjamin Crump. You all have,
along with Bakari Sellers, Benjamin Crump. We are the counsels. We here on the ground.
Tell Attorney Crump and Sellers I said hello. I've had Crump on my radio show many times. I'm good friends with Crump, as I'm good friends with you.
Yes, sir.
You know, Harry, I know that you have a lot of work to do in that area. Before we let you go, man, and we appreciate you being gracious with your time. Before I let you go, give us a sense of what's happening on the ground right now, because they have declared a state of emergency in advance of this video. What is happening? What are protesters saying?
This is a growing. They feel like it's been slighted as a cover up, no transparency. They've already been told by the attorneys that this man was murdered, an assassination took place, and they are very upset. It's getting to the attention is thick. It's thick. State of emergency have been declared. Other outside agencies coming in, anticipating with this video be released to the public for it to be a very volatile situation. Rashad, make no mistake about it. And I will tell you, quote this. You can quote me on this. This man was executed for only trying to save his own life. He never tried to threaten the officers. It was clear. It seemed like they had the intent to come and kill him.
On that, Harry Daniels, we're going to end the interview, man, but I appreciate you and your time today, and we'll be talking soon, and we will continue to follow this story.
I appreciate you, bro. Take care. Anytime.
Thank you, Harry. Okay. All right. Listen, that's the best way I could do that interview was to go ahead and just get him on the phone. It's tough. It's real tough.